1 sec. That should be good. Right. Morning, guys. Rob here with Ash, and Ash is going to give us a quick overview of what the Birkett is, how it works, the handicap system,
Yes.
how many cars, how many teams, and how it works. Over to you, Ash.
Over to me. Excellent. We're at the Birkett 6-hour race. It's the biggest race of the. It's the biggest race of the. We're being pushed out of the way here. It's the biggest race of the UK racing calendar. It's a relay race, which means that you can have up to 6 cars, 6 drivers, all rotating through. The BMW behind us is one of our guys. We've got 2 other BMWs on the grid for our team this year. There are over 70 teams on the circuit at once. So upwards of 70 cars. There are over 300 drivers because 70, 6 into 70, etc. Times 70. Loads and loads of people on track. Luckily, we're using the GP loop, or the GP circuit, full GP, because otherwise we wouldn't fit. The way it works is we're about to kick off in 15 minutes, 14 minutes now. We'll send our first guy out on the grid. It's a safety car start, which means a rolling start. And then what we end up happening then, watch yourself, Rob.
So here comes Ash's
It's
car
all
now.
go, it's all busy.
Sorry, guys. As you see, it's a fully working garage, so they're just getting themselves ready for the positioning.
It's we're about ready to kick off. So everyone's doing their thing and preparing the cars. But essentially, what it is, it's a relay race. So our first driver's about to go out on track there, and it's very busy. About to go out on track, and he's about to start the race for us. Our second driver will be in the car, ready to go. We're not allowed to cross that red line until our driver is coming in past our pit garage and we send it out. Like passing the relay, the baton in a sprint race on foot. The way that the grid's been worked out, it's an aggregate of the 6 drivers during qualifying. And the way that it's a class-based system, there's two honours to fight for. There's the overall honours, and then there's the handicap honours. And the way that they work out the handicap is based on their qualifying times. Really get given a so many lap handicap compared to the quickest team that's qualified. So,
quick one, guys.
Yes.
Sorry. As we mean, when that says handicap, what it means is, can you explain the different cars that are in the same race?
Yes.
Yes, no worries.
So the quickest cars we're up against Radicals, we're up against some GT cars, serious bits of kit. In a little 116, it's not going to get anywhere near lap times. The quickest of the cars that are going to be competing against are going to be up to a minute a lap quicker than us around the track there. So the handicap is applied to us, so we've got a fair chance of competing for laurels anyway. The outright competition is going to be between the quicker cars. The handicap is to play for anybody. So based off our qualifying times, they will work out the handicap, give us a so many lap handicap compared to the quickest of the cars, and we have to try and chip away at that handicap and keep that handicap, the buffer, I guess, to the quicker cars, and then they get a handicap result as well.
And basically, guys, think of it this way: if you love racing, think of this race as the Grand National for cars.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you're doing, and it doesn't matter how good you are or what you are when you start. Anyone can finish anywhere, because when you've got that many cars out on track, and apparently we missed a fire a minute ago, Ash.
Yeah, something was on fire, so it's already been exciting.
It's before the race starts, cars on fire. So,
cars on fire, it's a very dramatic race. There is a lot of traffic. It's a very busy circuit, so for us, in something that's
how many cars are on track at the same time?
It's going to be up to 70.
There you go, 70 cars on track at the same time.
Yeah, 70 cars, or probably over 70, because we had team number 69, and I didn't look at the rest of the program. So there's probably over 70 cars going to be on the track at any one time. It's so busy, and because we're one of the slower cars, it's mitigating where everybody's going to be on the track at the same time. Mirrors are very important for us. So we're going to have to use them a lot while we're out there. There's going to be some seriously quick stuff around. It was wet this morning, so it was a bit of an equaliser. There wasn't anything blasting past us too quickly. In the dry, like it's looking like it's going to be a bit of a different game. So we just want to keep it on the track.
And when you're not in the Birkett, you're driving in the, get this right, 116 series.
Yes, there's a 116 trophy and there's a 116 cup. Basically. So
what's the difference in the two?
One is endurance and one is sprint. So on the Saturday of a race weekend, we get the sprint racing out of the way. So there's 2 sprint races on the Saturday. Quick little 15, 20 minute races, qualifying, race, and then your times on the qualifying obviously determine your race. There's 2 different qualifying sessions, 2 different races. The Sunday is a driver change race, 90 minutes, qualifying in the morning and a 90-minute race. Can do a driver change if you desire. If you do it with a single driver, you have to come in for a mandatory pit stop regardless. So you get a mandatory pit stop to change driver, which is a minute. and you get a dummy pit stop of a minute as well, just to equalise everything and make things a little bit more strategic, I guess.
What that means, though, guys, is that most weekends, somewhere near you, there will be a motor race.
Yes.
Okay, and when you think you can spend something like £10 going to watch a motor race, you know, dodgy hot dog, cup of coffee, some cars crashing. You know, what more can
Not
you
us.
ask for?
Not us crashing. Not us.
Not Ash, obviously.
No.
No, not Ash. The other drivers.
Well, not this round anyway, but that's another story. No, we won't be crashing this round. But yeah, no, like cheap day out. That's one of the beautiful things about England in general, is that there is something going on at tracks all the way around England all the time. It's one of the reasons I still live here. It's one of the reasons I moved in the first place, is that motorsport is so prevalent here, whether you're a casual fan or just want to get out on track, or you're pretty serious in your motorsport. There's something happening all the time from, you know,
and also,
February to
guys,
November.
it isn't expensive. There's a, where's he gone? The purple one. One of the drivers over here said he blew his engine up and he's bought a new one on eBay for 60 quid and he's racing today with a £60 engine. So
it's affordable, it's accessible. Series, one of the beautiful things about the Birkett is that it's almost like a community thing where all the racing series, all the competing racing series will come together on track together. So, you know, garage next to us, we've got a bunch of MX-5s that'll be competing in their own series during the year. For the Birkett, we're competing against each other. Same thing, the 116 Trophy, 116 Cup, it's a standalone series. We're all together, we're all competing against each other. So it's a massive community. For instance, during qualifying just now, I was out on track behind an MX-5, roughly the same pace on track. We were helping each other, dragging each other along, using the tow to kind of help each other out a little bit.
Isn't that your day car as well?
Yes, I've got a Mark IV MX-5 on. So, oops, I just dropped the burgers. Hang on a minute.
Ash has one, but he doesn't. It is fit for racing, but he doesn't race it. He uses it on the road.
Yes, no, I don't think I've already gone through sets of calipers, taking it around the track. So it's a bit of that was an expense I didn't really need, you know. So,
okay,
yeah.
so watch out for this later on YouTube. Ash are going to be filming the whole thing live on Facebook. So
we're going to be live from inside the car. There's also the 750 Motor Club have you can't, I'm pointing, but you can't see it. The 750 Motor Club have a YouTube broadcast as well happening from outside as well, like a telecar.
So if you go onto YouTube and just type 750,
yes,
you can obviously by the time you see this, guys, it will already have happened, but you can re-watch the race. And it's not F1, trust me, it's much more fun.
It's a lot more fun, a lot slower, a lot more fun though, and it should be very competitive. There's some really cool, quirky cars. There's a 1970s Plymouth Barracuda running around on track and stuff like that, which makes, which is kind of cool. And being here at Silverstone on the GP, the full circuit, it doesn't get used that many times a year, so it's still a bit of a novelty to come out and do that. And my friend Danny's come over from Australia. He was hoping to race this weekend. But next year, he'll be out next year. He was out on the track running around yesterday for testing, and he was saying how much it was a bit of a mind blow, because we were talking about, you know, coming over England years ago when I first moved, and then over Christmas time went back to Australia for a bit of a hangout, and we said, you know, you should move to England, you know, come do some racing. And it was just a throwaway comment, and now it's happening, you know. So and he was highlighting the fact that you kind of forget when you spend a lot of time here how poignant it is, especially for someone from Australia, because it seems so far away, so inaccessible. And you know, you watch on TV, and it's a big venue and one of the classic circuits in the world. And when you sat up in the hotel over the other side here, having a pint on the balcony there, overlooking the wing, it's a special
that's what
thing.
you forget, guys. If you think Australia, you think you're going to go for a local. There's not a local race. I mean, you're travelling for a day, aren't you, to get to a
yeah, it's one of the great things about being in the UK for motorsports, that all the tracks are close. You know, and I know we moan about driving to Croft, which is 4 hours away, but in Australia, I mean, we're based in Brisbane.
Yep.
We have 3 circuits in Brisbane. One was on our doorstep, which didn't get used that often. One was an hour and a half away. One was 2.5 hours away. And the next one was Sydney. So that was 13 hours away. So there wasn't much of a scope for that sort of thing. And when we were racing, we raced at Phillip Island a few years ago. 15 years ago now. And we had to drive. The practice was on the Friday. We had to leave on the Wednesday to get down to Phillip Island in time to get there. So it's massive.
So count yourselves lucky. But literally, it is on your doorstep.
Exactly. Which, and one of the beautiful things about being here is that even go to Knock Hill, it's 6-7 hours away. It's fine. You can do it and stay overnight and stuff like that. So even being in this area, there's like a motorsport centric hub here. You've got Silverstone, Donington's close, Snetterton's close, Brands Hatch is close. You know, Bedford Autodrome's close for anyone else doing any track days. You can do it all in a day.
And what we all try and do is I'll try and get Ash to do a little mini series telling you guys how you can set up your own race team from the point of buying a cheap car, setting it up, how to get your license,
Yes.
which apparently I was told isn't too hard to do.
No,
Okay, guys.
you can do it, Rob.
Even I can do it.
Can
Yeah,
do it.
even
So,
I can do it.
yeah.
So watch out, Lewis. I'm coming for you, by the way. Yeah. So, but yeah, and the idea is, I mean, literally, I think I saw it on Top Gear once, and they said you can start racing a car for the price of a decent set of golf clubs, which technically you could. You won't be very competitive, but you will be racing.
It depends what you want to race. Budget is limitless, you know.
Yeah.
So if you want a cheap way to go motor racing, 750 Motor Club are probably one of the cheapest ones to go motor racing for. BRSCC is another good one. BRSCC usually runs the MX5 Championship. 750 Motor Club does things like the 116s and things like that. Race Cars Direct is probably the one to go on for race cars.
In fact, most of your cars are already race ready.
Yes.
I've seen half the cars out there, which you see, okay, and you spend so much money on them.
Yes.
Okay, why not put them on a track and really see how good they are, or better, how good you are as well. That's the key. You've mostly got a car right now sitting in the garage that you spend God knows how much on, guys, which you can get out. What's it cost for a race? How much is the entry fee?
For a race, a couple £100.
There you go.
Yeah. You'd obviously have to go through the MSUK rulebook and have a look at your compliance, because you need things like extinguisher, an approved cage. You need an electrical cutoff switch. There's a couple of a bit different bits and pieces, like the bonnet latches have to be approved and things like that. All the little tweaky bits in between. But if you do want to go racing, if you've got your own car that you want to upgrade into racing, it's very possible. It's not that expensive to run the plumbing through it with an extinguisher and things like that. If you think that's a bit of a mess around, jump on somewhere like Race Cars Direct, get a cheap car, because chances are there are cars on there that are probably quite like your own, that are already track ready. It takes the hassle out of it, and they've been prepared already. They've usually been well kept on top of, servicing all done, and usually, fingers crossed, usually what happens is they will refresh the car before they're ready to sell it, because then you can just hand it on to the next person and it's ready to go.
I did speak to a guy last year from Hybrid Performance who was racing a Fiesta, and he said he actually has it in there's two modes of it, he said. There's race mode and there's week mode. And he actually uses his race car, is his weekly car he drives to work in.
For a little while, this 116 behind us was Sam's daily.
Yeah.
You know, and it looks a bit overkill when he rocks up to a Tesco's car park with a yellow roll cage in it. And the emergency cutoff switch, the electric cut, he had to have an extendable pole in the back of the car, because to turn the car on to access the door locks, he had to open the boot, reach through with a hook, and hook it onto the electrical cutoff on the dash to turn the car on to be able to open the doors. So he was running with that for a long time as well on the road.
So yeah, you know, as long as you're careful with the car, guys. So we're going to get off. Actually going to be racing a bit. You're going out last?
I'm going out last. Yeah, I'm going to bring the car home. Race starts in 2 minutes.
So
we're going to go watch.
And get
we're going to go cheer
race
on.
Started, guys. So see you next week, guys. Bye. MySpec is an app for vehicle customizers and enthusiasts to showcase, view vehicles and chat. Find the best events from all over the globe and win great prizes. Download it today from the app stores. And hey, don't forget to like, subscribe and share.